gentlemen, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back. If this is your fourth Walker season, no, my bad. It's episode 3. I don't know why. I'm already jumping ahead. Like I'm already angsty for the next one. Is it the fourth one? I think this is the third one. Time goes by really. This is the third one, yeah. Welcome back to your, if this is your third Walker Season 3 episode review for you today. If you're unaware from our updates or from earlier this week on our other shows, or if you're just coming just from last week. So right now, currently, Verizon Fios and Nextstar / the CW are currently in this little bit of a price dispute right now. So right now, for me and a lot of other East Coast viewers, we are unable to watch the CW shows right now as of live, in terms of like, as they're coming out brand new live on broadcast. So for this week, it will be, every episode review will be delayed by a day. So this will be posted on Saturday morning instead of Friday morning. And then Walker Defenders will be out by tomorrow morning. So for the foreseeable future, we are going to be switching over next week to the original days at night. So you'll be getting your Walker episode reviews now going forward for now every Friday nights. So you're still getting them on Friday, you'll just be getting them around 9:30ish, you know. That is my guesstimation. There will be weeks where I might be late a little bit because, you know, things always happen in my life that I really can't predict, but we will adjust and go accordingly. So this week is just the day delay. Next week we'll be switching over to nights. And of course, whenever this whole situation with Files gets resolved with the CW, we will be returning back to our normal morning slot. So I'll keep you posted. But until then, that's kind of how we're going to be managing right now here on What's in the Tube going forward. So, which is funny, you'll have rookie mornings and then the CW nights. So, pretty funny, but it wasn't planned. But anyway, anywho, going to this week's episode of Walker, get a bit of a time gap. And I'm very thankful once again. This is the season that's finally addressing a lot of my issues. Not really all my issues, but like certain issues I had when I was growing up. I say that like I'm old. I'm 25 now, and I'm like, I say this like witnessing something from when I was 19 or 20 or 18, and I forgot what year that came. The Flashpoint stuff came up. I'm like, I'm very happy that we are not immediately just disregarding anything that the last season's finale to now this season's premiere is setting up, because it always becomes a tradition, or like kind of like this repeated factor where like we literally just forget about what happened and then we move on to the next thing, just because we had that thing to keep people coming back in, and then we hook them back in with the thing, and then we just hope to God they'll stick around for it. Right now, it just seems that this is a natural progression. This isn't something that we're forcing onto each other. I can definitely relate with a couple things that is going on with this episode, and I'm very excited to see how the next episode is going to handle it, and then the next episode. And it's not something that like I'm angsty to get the storyline over with. It's something that I want to see what is the next natural progressive step. What is the next thing that I want to see these characters handle, and that's what I'm excited about. And this episode definitely teed up moving on from, let's just say, the last 3 episode arc, let's call it, and now we're moving forward to the light kind of is popping in for a cameo. Now we're kind of moving into like, what is the natural next step? What is a natural, you know, progression for the characters to tackle on with next? And that's what that's what I was a big fan of this week's episode. So let's go through the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of Walker. So we begin right where the last episode left off. Cordell and Liam have been discharged by EMTs. They're cleared. They're good to go. But they're kind of handling the aftermath a little bit differently. Liam immediately wants to get into talking about, wanting to like talk about like, how are you feeling? How am I feeling? Like, should we go to the hospital, get like some sort of like, you know, checkup and make sure that we're 100% clear, because maybe we have internal bleeding that they're not detecting right now. Maybe just in case. Cordell's like immediately, we're good. Everything's fine. We got cleared. Let's go home. And that's what they're anxious to do. Cassie walks in to say, hey, I know it's 2 a.m., but your mama prepared a very delicious roast beef. And I'm just looking at them. I'm like, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. But you know what? Patrick Star once said 3 a.m. burgers are the best thing in the world. So I'm like, you know what? 2 a.m. roast beef? I'll dig it myself. We head back over to the Walker Ranch. It's a bit little bittersweet for them. Again, it wasn't terribly too long. It was only like 3-4 days since they last been home, like peacefully. What was it? What was her name? Oh damn, we got damn, it's Odette Tooley's character. Oh yeah, my brain is like fried right now. I'm really like struggling. Like it's Jerry's there, and she immediately comforts Cordell, and they're like, just letting them know, like, yeah, everyone's in the ranch house. They're waiting for your big return dinner. They've all stayed up this late just to see y'all before they all head to bed. And obviously Liam is not 100% well. He's okay in reality, but he's still in shock. He needs to compress this. He wants to talk about it, but no one wants to talk to him about it, so he has no choice but to just head onwards to the ranch. Cordell, being the Cordell he is, gets some more hugs from Jerry, and Jerry's like kind of a little bit like blaming herself a little bit of like not being there more for Cordell in the hours leading up to it. Maybe it would be different, but Cordell's like, this is out of your control. It was going to happen regardless. This was their plan, and that's how it is. They all head back to the ranch house. It seems like everything's fine in a moment, but Cordell looks back down at the little coffee table where they were looking at old memories of Cordell, specifically to his army days, and he gets a little bit of like stun, like a little bit of a PTSD standstill for a bit. He eventually snaps back to reality when everyone's just hugging him or congratulating that they're back and everything's back to normal. Not really, but you know what I mean. Immediately they head over to dinner, and Cordell's like, before we eat down, I want to say Stella's graduation speech that I've been preparing for many, many days. I was rehearsing this. I'm ready to go. And it's like all graduation speeches. Like, it's not the best. You get the message, and definitely this is kind of like a proud dad moment that he was waiting for this moment for all of the last 18 years since Stella was born to have this moment where like she has officially completed majority of her childhood. She's ready to move on to the next chapter of independence. No pun intended to the actual show. And she's ready to like move on to adulthood. And of course, Cordell's like missing Emily of like, it should have been me and your mom there at your graduation as we initially planned. That didn't end up happening, of course. And that's it's still awkward. It still feels a little bit weird right now because the fact is Liam's just there, everyone's just there, and they know like there's something amiss here. Like Cordell's not 100% feeling well right now. He's not. But they can't really tackle it on because it's still too soon, it's still too fresh, and you know what? We're gonna leave it for another day. Flash forward 2 months later, where it's been 2 months, and for me, I thought it was like, okay, they're immediately just getting back to it. They're immediately just, it's going to take a couple days. Now it's been 2 months. It's been basically a whole summer past, and it's the day where Stella is supposed to head off to college, so they're getting ready for their road trip tomorrow. Cordell's been a little bit distant with the rest of the family, just trying to like, get his ducks in a row, trying to like get into like what is the next thing for them to be doing, and they just kind of like they just keep going to that. But everyone's noticing that Cordell's a bit off. Liam still wants to talk to him, which I'm like, damn, 2 months just to process your PTSD. By this point, I'm like, it's a big old question mark. But the other underlying thing that everyone completely forgot about is the Mustang. Remember the Mustang that Stella and August kind of accidentally, not really lost, but like kind of have to give away last episode. Yeah, so they've been giving an excuse to Cordell that, yeah, we left it to the mechanic to get repaired, to be upgraded, get a little bit of a modification, and he's holding it over, and it's just like, what? It's like 2 months? Like, I think I literally took like about a month since. Anyway, so I really don't know how Cordell doesn't figure this out pretty quickly because, like I was saying before my train file got interrupted. My father, I had a bicycle, and I actually got it away. Actually, no way. I kind of lied about that. Like, technically, I did convince my dad. I think it was like around April to June. Never mind. You know what? Cordell and my dad are the same thing. Like, they eventually figure it out eventually, but like they take a little long on the teeth to figure it out. So then they know the deadline's soon, and they got to figure out how the hell do we get the Mustang back? Because the original point was that when Emily and Walker knew that, yeah, Stella was going to graduate, she was going to go to college, wherever she ended up going, we were going to take a road trip with the Mustang all the way out there, and Grandma Walker makes a point of, how the hell were y'all going to fit in a small-ass convertible with all the stuff Stella needs for college in a tiny-ass storage compartment? And Liam's like, you know what, I got you. I got a backup car with all the extra stuff. I'll be with you. We got this. We got this in the bag. Well, of course, obviously, the kids are like, shit, we need to find this car now. We definitely know that, the kid Davison, I forgot his name already. I really did. I think it's something similar to what I know. I'm trying to like drag it out as much as I can, but it's not possible. It really isn't. Yeah, he's aware of it too. But right now, apparently, he and his dad are now working at the side stool. They're not the side stool, but I think it's the side stool. Yeah, they're working there now because since Jerry's the manager, he's like, you know what? It's all in the family. We need extra hands, and Mr. Davison definitely needs a job now. So he's working as a bartender. He's hanging out there as well as kind of just like part-time help while he's still trying to figure out what the fuck he's gonna do with his life and all that sort. And, you know, he's about to do this like big date thing with Stella, you know, their last day together. And also the fact that he's fearing that when most high school couples, literally days before you go off to college, kind of like, you know what, hey, we're going up to this new chapter of our lives. We might want to experiment a little bit, like see what else is out there, not hold anyone back really. So why don't we just break up? And he's fearing that, like, you know, that maybe he and Stella might go through that. Plus Stella's been acting a little bit weird all summer, of course, obviously because of the Mustang, plus of, college and everything. You know, she's been a little bit off personally. So he's thinking this entire date day might be enough for them to like kind of rekindle that fire and kind of like really make the best of like their final known day together, which is sweet. It's heartful. And I swear to God, I have no idea how early this is. Like he's talking about an entire day, bro. It looks like noon by there. So I'm like, I really don't know how you're gonna squeeze this all in. Yes, but however, the three of them meet up back at Stella's room. Yeah, so it turns out like, yeah, right now they need to get the Mustang back by today, no matter what. And they're just thinking, you know what? We don't really know where the Mustangs ended up right now, so maybe we could just rent out a Mustang for the trip. But like, bro, you guys have no money. You have no idea how much car rental, especially if you're looking for a very specific car in Texas where y'all are like very limited in. Like, there's absolutely no way you're going to find this exact car that someone's going to rent out for you for about a week. And then August is going to have to fix this because when Stella is off in college, she cannot just come back. Like, she's got to stay there. So they're on a time crunch right now. However, Stella did some late night strolling. She found out the Mustang is being used for drag racing right now somewhere in like nearby Texas, but still within reasonable distance for them to like just traverse to with another person's car. So they say, you know what, we're going to go back there and we're going to steal it back. And that's the plan. Trey is finishing up his training to be a ranger. He's finishing up right now with James, who's not in this week's episode, but he's just training. Very weird that like him just sweating so profusely lands on Cassie's chair next to her desk, all sweaty. He has not taken a shower or anything. She's looking at him like either she's baffled that he did that, or maybe she's like looking at his muscles. I'm like, you know what? We'll keep this open. We'll keep this very open. Is it kind of, cliche for Trey to go after Cordell's next partner, who's also Latina? Who knows? Who very well knows. But right now Cassie's a bit worried about some other things, considering the fact that there was an article posted recently. I'm not sure if that was Liam posting the article or someone else posting the article about what happened with the torturing. I'm not really 100% certain, but it was describing what the Walkers went through during their 2 days in exile there, and like the torture methods they were used against it, and everyone's just like shocked because I'm pretty sure Cordell and Liam didn't even tell anyone about exactly what they've been through. And then this article comes out. Now they're just like, fuck, what did y'all been through? What did y'all like go through over there? And Cassie's just worried that Walker is not handling this correctly, that he's not properly expressing his emotions and like getting the real recovery he needs. It doesn't seem like he's doing that. And she's scared that if she goes back on the road with him, he's not mentally 100% there to protect her. And then again, before I say anything, Cassie can take care of herself. That's not the point that this is trying to be made here. Is that when you have a partner, that's your backup. So if you are overwhelmed by somebody, if like there's a look, not everyone's Batman. Not everyone can just take on 100 thugs and take them all down. These are just still regular Texas Rangers with very above average body strength. There's only so much they can do. Having a partner means you have backup. And if Cordell's not 100% there might be a better chance that Cassie might die when she's on the field. So that's what she's scared about. And that's definitely something they need to like actually tackle on. Meanwhile, Cordell's just getting ready for the trip. He's getting all the snacks, getting all the food ready. There's going to be a big party tonight for the event. He and Liam are just casually talking about just like the upcoming road trip. And Liam wants to then talk about the actual event itself, what they've been through with the torturing and the kidnapping. And again, Cordell's like, you know what? It's better we just don't talk about it. We just, eventually it'll just move on from our minds and we move on too. So we just got to keep going for that. Keep up that strength. Cassie shows up. He decides to let her help him out, look for some camping boxes that are in the basement. And apparently, again, this is another Cordell and Emily future plan / I'm pretty sure this is just Emily thinking about it, that when they were supposed to go like a little bit of camping before Stella got to college. And so they had a ton of camping equipment. They all bought out that was ready to go. They have way too much and they're going to use a lot of it during this trip. And Cordell needs some help looking for it. However, when she's looking for that room, she finds Cordell's army personal items when he was in service. Definitely remembering that he went through a lot of stuff in his time in Iraq, I believe. Iraq or Afghanistan, I forget which tour he went into. But it was still a lot for Cordell. Like, he's been through a lot of trauma over his life, and this is just adding to that. And Cassie just comes clean to him that, hey, look, I don't think you're okay. Like, I think you're repressing something that you're just putting on this facade for everyone just so that no one has to worry about you. But, if I'm on the field with you, you need to be mentally there. And Cordell wasn't mentally there. He wasn't even paying attention to the conversation. He was, like, paying attention to, like, the water drops in the distance. That's all he was paying attention to. And obviously, again, it's just not surprising about that. And, he's just like, I'll be fine. I'm going to get there. But for Cass, like, it's not sitting well. This isn't something that he's anxious to get into. Liam also is in the same area, but just upstairs while Grandma Walker's baking a very delicious shortcake. Yeah. He's already calling dibs on the road. They get a little bit to talk about, Cordell's, withholding. But it seems Grandma Walker's more like concerned about Cordell. But Liam's like, I was also there too. I was also there too. And you don't ask about me. And obviously, again, Liam wants to talk about it. He's like, number one, like, someone listen to me, or specifically Cordell, listen to me. I need to talk. We need to talk about this. It's been 60 days of holding this in. It's not a laughing matter. I'm just like making a joke out of it a little bit. Not the whole, what they've been through, just like the whole, like, he's waited 2 months to like have a talk with his own brother about what the hell they just been through. And it's a lot, but he just leaves. That was Troy. Trey, he heads in. He's just there to like drop off some things for Stella, for her going away party. And so when we had a scene earlier where Trey's in his apartment, he got all the equipment and all the uniform he needs for his new Texas Ranger duty, and he decides to give Stella a call. But Stella was already at the Drag King event, and the announcer just clearly said, "This is the Drag King event." And he's like, "Where the hell are you?" And Stella's like, "Just keep it quiet. Don't let my dad know. Talk to you later." And we know Trey. Trey's got a big mouth. Like, Trey is a very honest man. He does everything, but sometimes he has a blabbermouth. Sometimes he knows, I'm joking, he knows exactly what to do. At first, Cassie comes upstairs. Trey's immediately talking about, Walker's condition and everything, but he forgets to mention that Walker's there. Like, why wouldn't he be at the house? But, like, yeah, he's just talking about the whole, like, is Walker okay? Like, have you managed to talk to him? And then he just comes upstairs. And that's when Trey blabs out the fact that, hey, your kids are at a drag race with your Mustang. And Cordell's like, what? What you talking about, boy? So we have to the drag event where the people who stole the car last episode have won a race. The loser gets mad, is about to smash the Mustang, but the security guards immediately kick his ass, and they win all the monies. But they're like, realize, yeah, this is gonna be a little bit more difficult than we thought. Or so be it, because they're immediately planning, like, okay, we're going to distract them. The other two, we're going to escape, but we're going to completely forget about the third one, because, again, these are all, let's be honest here. I appreciate the moxie. I appreciate it. Y'all are 16, 17, 18 years olds trying to plan a heist with no real escape plan, no real backyard. You got maybe 2 average-sized fellas and one girl who knows how to hotwire a car. This is not the makings of a team to steal a Mustang from highly muscular dudes and probably people with weapons. This is not the plan you want to go with. But before we get to that plan itself, Kid Davidson has a little bit of a mix-up with his words. States that, like, he thinks this is their last date together, because, just Stella's actions lately, just her reactions lately. So I was like, no, it's not that. It's just, I've been going through a lot, but it has nothing to do with you. If you want to break up with me, that's fine, but, like, I don't want to break up with you. And he's like, of course I don't want to break up with you. I love you. And I think, like, is that the first time they said the I love you word before? I'm not sure. I haven't remembered season 2 that much, but before they're interrupted, until they get interrupted, August shows up and tells them, hey, they're about to leave, so if we're going to have to do this plan, we got to do it now. So August goes up to them, immediately thinking, like, okay, we're going to have a rematch. I got some muscle on me. I'm ready to kick some ass. And they're like, aren't you Pete's boy? Or Pete's bro? And he's like, oh, you know what? I am Pete. I'm cool with you. Like, yeah, give me that beer. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, these fucking idiots. Stella and Kid Davison are hot-wiring the car. It works, but they don't get that far into it. Eventually, they get surrounded by everyone. They immediately get their identities exposed, and Stella, through the powers of yelling and saying her entire life story, it was enough to kind of get them off their backs. Like, okay, yeah, go, take it. Okay, yeah, we know how dangerous your dad is, so as long as you promise us that you will never, ever try to arrest us, just take the car. No problem. And they're like, cool. That was easier said than done. And I was like, you know what? Okay, well, we'll do that instead. So they drive back to the ranch. They think everything's fine, but Cordell already knows about everything from Trey, so he gets pretty miffed at them, pretty mad at them, and he yells at them about, like, you know, I thought we were done with all the secret stuff in the last 2 seasons. This was supposed to be a new beginning. And they just immediately were honest to him, like, hey, look, the only reason we kept this a secret from you because you have not been well. You have not been well since you came back from that kidnapping. Like, they took a piece of you. We didn't want this incident to take another piece out of you because we know how important the Mustang was to you. We got it back. No promises have to be made. And of course, Cordell wants to go down there, arrest them for, like, you know, assaulting his son, threatening his daughter, and stealing their vehicle for 2 months. Like, he wants to do that, but, you know, he's just not mentally there. He's, you know, still got some ways to go. And he's becoming aware of that. Like, if his own kids have to withhold something for him for the benefit of his mental psyche, then he knows he has a problem. He has Stella and him have a private conversation about, like, you know, it's not just him that's, like, been acting like a facade all summer. It's also Stella, that she has not been really expressing her excitement for college. And yeah, also the Kid Davison also said, like, yeah, you haven't registered for any classes yet. You haven't even really opened up the college survival kit I made for you. Like, you know, it doesn't seem like you're inclined to go to college. And she's like, I'm not. Like, she just assumes that is the natural next step, but she doesn't know. And you can also, in season 2, you can honestly see that where she wasn't really excited for college. She was just morally interested in, like, finishing up her last year of high school, getting to the end. She did. And yeah, and this is exactly what I meant from earlier in this episode, where I could relate. For me personally, I didn't even want to go to college at the start. Like, once I graduated high school, like, I am not mentally prepared for college. I'm not. Like, I'll go because it's just the acceptable next step. And don't get me wrong, I'm very happy with my college education. I'm very happy I went to it. But if someone would have told me, you could take a gap year, you could just not go to college for a year, and it will be fine. But I was under a lot of peer pressure, which is kind of what Stella was going for. Like, she was under a lot of pressure from her family, all the people that were close to her, about, like, you're going to college, that is your next step. You're going to go there for 4 years, and you're going to kick some ass. But for her, like, that's not really something that she wanted to do, because the last 2 years of her life has completely uprooted her entire way of thinking, that maybe college isn't on her plan anymore. And I can relate to that. I would have loved for someone to tell me, hey, take a gap year. Because here's the thing, everyone in my friend group, the people I care about the most, barely any of us actually graduated on time, you know, a traditional 4-year period. Like, we've all taken gap years, we've all taken extra time to take classes. Like, nothing is perfect. Just because, you know, you graduate college late or you don't go to college, that doesn't mean you're anything less. You're just a human being. There's no equality in terms of, like, your experience. There's no equal levels. Like, it's what you do, what you think is best for you. And that's all you need to do. And I'm very happy that Cordell just told Stella, okay, if you want to take a gap year, go ahead. That's fine. We'll figure something out for you. But, like, right now, if you don't feel mentally prepared, don't waste your money. Don't waste your time in putting effort into something that you know isn't going to stick for you at the end of the day. And that was, like, wise dad parenting from Walker for once in this damn recent episode, which is good, which is a good thing to have. Liam talks to his dad about, to Grandpa Walker, about just, you know, him holding back in this expression, him holding back these talks that he's been waiting to have for Cordell all summer. And yeah, like, Grandpa Walker immediately tells him, like, yeah, I understand that you want, because yeah, Cordell's the only one that you know that has really gone through this. But, you know, there are other people out there that are trained for this, that have similar experiences to you, that could help you with your processing. If Cordell's not ready to talk yet, okay, you can't force him to. But if you think that you need to talk to someone, like, you know, go to the VFW, like, go to a therapist. Like, there are people out there that could help you. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Took him long enough, but okay, sure. It is what it is. I think the last scene we get is Cordell's on the patio. He's just, like, thinking to himself. Cassie shows up. She was already there to try and to be there for Stella's going away party, but since the event was canceled, she just took a slice of cake. And Cordell apologizes to her and states to her that, yeah, he knows that there's still more problems with her and what problems with him, and he's going to get this all situated. He's going to get this all fixed up somehow, you know, even if it takes a longer time for him. And she's like, good. I'm glad you're acknowledging your problems, and I can't wait to see you soon, partner. And that ends, actually not yet. Cordell's wrapping up his night, about to go to Siestaville, and he gets a figment, a little imaginary figment of himself when he was in the army, and he gets shaken to the core. So so when Cordell got kidnapped, something got awakened from his past. I'm excited to know what that is, because I'm looking at his face. He is not chill right now. He is not. But what the heck did Cordell been through in his army days? We don't know yet, but we'll find out soon. But that was it for this week's episode of Walker. So for me, I thought this was a great episode. You know, it was definitely, you know, the time jump was a little bit weird, but it was necessary. It was meant to emphasize how this time fuck arounding with jumping around in the summertime. Again, I don't know why people skip summer over. Summer is a good time to have some fun there with a TV season, but everyone keeps skipping it. But you know what? It is what it is. But it does definitely emphasize that, like, there was something deeper wrong with Cordell, that Liam's really withholding stuff back as well, and then, you know, everyone's just kind of like, they're angst to start their next chapters, but they don't know how exactly it's going to look out to be. Some people know already, some people don't, and at this point, it's just a matter of hoping that everything is all right. And, you know, thankfully, you know, I would say because of that, you know, we got the Mustang thing resolved kind of quickly, in my opinion. I mean, then again, it is a stolen vehicle. There really isn't much you can stretch out with the idea, but I feel like I'm just so used to, like, story ideas and story plot lines getting kind of resolved pretty quickly that, like, you know what? Okay, like, that's okay for a 1 episode resolution. That's okay. But I'm very happy that, like, they're not just dusting away their experiences like kidnap. Like, that does definitely leave a mark on you. Like, even if it was 2 days, 2 to 3 days they were in there, the amount of, actually, no, it was more than 3 years, because they had 96 hours to try and find them. So it's been definitely more than 4 days, almost a week, let's say. A week in captivity, like, it's gonna leave an imprint on you. It's gonna leave some sort of mark on you. Like, even I just reviewed an episode of The Rookie Feds earlier this week, and one of the characters of the week gets kidnapped, and even though she was only there for like less than a day, you know, even the characters on that show is like, yeah, she's gonna have a lifetime of issues. She's gonna have a lifetime of, like, you know, fear and, like, you know, a lot of psychological thing that's probably never going to get resolved in her lifetime. And that's just being honest. That's only less than a day. These are 2 grown men who have been tortured, who have been brought to the near death's door, and they're still kicking. Like, that is not something you just immediately just walk away to. Like, they're trying to feel like they're okay, but they need help. And, you know, one wants to wait for his brother to give him some help because he's been through it, and the other one just wants to kind of ignore because something happened to him in his past that is making him try to sweep this under the rug because he doesn't want to repeat it. What exactly is that event? We don't know yet. I want to find out. And definitely this whole, like, ex-army plotline is not over yet. Like, there's definitely more to the tea about it that we need to figure out. But anyway, besides that, you know, Trey about to finally begin Texas Ranger duty. It'll be exciting to see what kind of Ranger he's going to be. It's going to be really exciting. And also having to see him with the rest of the cast is going to be pretty interesting. It's going to make him even more tighter with the Walker fam going forward. I mean, he was already tight with them, but you know what I mean? Like, even more tighter. Stella taking a gap year, you know what? That's going to be cool. That's going to be great to see, like, how she's going to, like, you know, what is she going to do during her gap year? Like, you know, it's not just sitting around, just, you know, being on your phone all day, going on dates with your guy who's also staying in town. But no, it's also just the fact that, you know, it's, she's going to figure something out, but right now college is it's not the right answer, and that's totally okay. Also, I forgot to mention, there was another Davidson scene where, he and his dad talk about, you know, just, he's going to go off to be with his mom again, but this time she's going to start her own private practice somewhere else, and he's going to be in charge of taking care of the ranch. So he's immediately just going to ranch duty. Which that's cool. Have him make some money, get some more muscle. Let's get that going there. But overall, for me, I'm very happy that this episode definitely did not sweep a lot of things under the rug. It acknowledged the fact they were trying to, but this isn't something that's going to go away anytime soon. This is something that's going to take a lot more time, a lot more effort to figure out and to understand what is going on in their minds next, and how do we How are we going to resolve this? And what else are they hiding beneath themselves that, has to be tackled on eventually? But for now, I'm going to give this episode 2 thumbs up. I think it was great. Another standout episode for Walker. Can't wait to see what the rest of the season goes with these storylines. And yeah, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this week's episode of Walker? Let's have that conversation down below. Let's kick it off. But that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's the Two from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the 3rd season of Walker. If you want to know what we're doing normally in What's the Two besides our Walker episode reviews, we're currently doing Walker Independence episode reviews each and every week. We're currently also doing the Rookie episode reviews each and every week, the Rookie Feds episode reviews each and every week, and as well as DC Stargirl episode reviews each and every week. But if you don't care about Walker, you're in luck. We'll be back next week, Thursday. Well, yeah, next week for another brand new episode review. Stay back to our old date, but different time slot. So get used to that for a while. Hopefully Files fix your shit. Or Nexus Star reduce your thing. I don't know what the heck's going on here. I'm not into the business practices right now. But again, this has been What's the Two from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode reviews live. Please also ring the bell. Please also share this video for everyone you want to see. And please also follow us on social media. But until we see each other again, for all you Texas Rangers out there, I'll see you all next week. But until then, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.